Shalom. Call hello, Yahweh Bashana Rashai, Bahasham Makakadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to the 144,000 and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth. That be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen that look like the heathen. And to the Aqua that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with a quick lesson. And I'm sitting here in one of my spots alone, and the spirit just jumped on me. I just saw it, a brother that a brother in the world, he a decent brother though. And his mom, he jumped on the phone immediately and let me talk to his mother. We used to work together back in the day, and he's a very successful trainer right now. He kind of came up under my wing, and I used to have a business card that said trainer of trainers, and not saying that to brag, but it was true. A lot of the trainers that are big in Chicago came up under me, but that's neither here and there. But it was just through a conversation with him that the spirit jumped on me literally to do this lesson. And I'm going to talk about, ghetto salon talk with women, because there's really nasty spirit among, women in America, especially the Negro woman, the women of the tribe of Judah, to come against, this dude just had his whole ass out, man, Salakia, just didn't want to look up and see that. But this guy, these women, this spirit of rebellion and immorality, and it's just insane, man. But I'm gonna start with Micah, the book of Micah 7. And 10. And it reads, "Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which saith unto me, Where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire in the streets." Hold on, let's let this madness go by. All right, and the reason I read that because I watched a video, actually a couple videos, but one this morning, about that woman that got all of the attention from getting hit in the brick with her face, and it turns out the whole thing was a fraud, and how all these people jumped on the bandwagon supporting her, and this, that, and the other, and the whole thing was a lie. It turns out that she did this before about 3 years ago, and with this one, something to the effect where she can use saline if she's like allergic to it or something, and when she uses it, it swells her up, and then she went live on her camera after doing so, and fabricated this story, and a lot of people believed it, and immediately began to drag, so-called black men, begin to drag their names, and that whole "we don't need them, we don't need a man, I don't need no man," yet, crying for the help of a man. But nevertheless, what she did was just incite even more division between the so-called, black men and black women, the Judite men and the Judite woman. All right, but a lot of these women are going to see, even though she's a Somalian, but through the spirit, I believe she's a nigger woman. Just on her spirit bears witness. Let me get that. This is Romans 8:16, and it reads, the Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of power. So her spirit, that wild, ignorant, over-aggressive, but lively spirit, that's the spirit of the so-called black woman. And I don't think she's faking it. That's who she is. And you have to remember, we are scattered among all people, but nevertheless, it just goes to show you that these women, they have no fear of the Lord. They have no, and they have this false sense of security, and security is going to disappear in America rather quickly in these days to come. All right, And yeah, and she scammed people out. She got 40K from from the information that I was watching the beloved brother out in Vegas, the elder brother out in Vegas, his video, and I think it was 40K that she got this time from the scam. And and I doubt if she even gets in trouble with the authorities or anything like that. This corner wild, man. You see some bugged out shit on this corner. Old girl walked by looking like Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. But let me go to Exodus. These are this scripture is a scripture that he brought out. Because I watched some of his video. I didn't watch the whole thing. So I'm hoping I'm not just, bringing out the same scriptures. But this is Exodus 23. And I'm going to start at verse 1. And it reads, in fact, I meant to highlight that anyway. Thou shalt not raise false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. So, because there was even a guy that came out and said he witnessed the whole thing. And I believe that he had to be in on it. Because if she fabricated the whole story, he more than likely was with it. Or he just saw the guy get in the car, and she made a scene when any guy got in the car. I don't know how it went down, but but for him to say he witnessed the whole thing and say that, she was taunting the guy, et cetera, just to sell the story. And, so it sounds like he was actually in on it. But it says, thou shalt not raise a false report, put thine hand not with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Though thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. So, you really do have to vet and be patient and wait to hear the whole matter of the thing. And I've learned that I've made that mistake in this truth. Something to come out and you just get, you get mad about it and then you respond and it turns out the information was false. Or, even with the brother, you really do have to adhere to the scriptures and hear the whole matter before you come to rational decisions, man. So that you can come to a rational decision. That's what I meant to say. Let me go to Sirach, the 11th chapter, starting at verse 7. And it reads, blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first, and then rebuke. Answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. Strive not in a matter that concerneth thee not, and sit not in judgment with sinners. All right? So you got to hear the whole matter of the thing, man, before you decide to do something. And then as far as them trying to drag a man's name, many men have died, gotten hurt, gone to jail, over helping some woman who really didn't deserve help at all, man. I've seen it a lot as a bouncer. Some guy beating up on his woman in the club, and the bouncer or someone goes to save her, and then she turns on that person, for the dude who was beating her ass the whole time. All right, but you got to really vet and prove a person. All right, and then another thing is that these women just hate the patriarchy that Yahweh set up with this whole feminist thing. I was watching this morning. I was watching Mad Max, the remake with Tom Hanks and what's that real pretty white woman, her wicked ass, Charlize Theron, right? The Edomite, who was all over masculine and this feminine vibe, and he was literally trying to free and save himself, and she was just coming against him in the beginning. When she even saw that he was held captive by the same people that was coming against her. Her name was Furiosa too. All right. And they just had, and then she just had this hatred. That all changed, and I'm not gonna go deep into the movie, but that scene really kind of aggravated me because then she needed him. Matter of fact, she would have died had he not been around. He saved her multiple times throughout the film. All right. And and then these women just sit up and they do things, and then they, act as if they done nothing, wipe their mouth with Proverbs. This is Proverbs 30 and 20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. All right? Not even acknowledging anything that they've done when they've done all manner of wickedness, man. You know, just like the brick to the face lady with her fraud, you know. She completed a total act of fraud and got paid for it. She got rewarded for it. But, you know, the Lord's going to bring a reward for all this wickedness. I promise you that. All right? Because, like I said, the patriarchy that the Lord set up is really hated by almost every woman within Christianity and women worldwide. All right? For the most part, you know, except maybe in some of the different Muslim cultures and some of the other cultures, they understand that place. But here in the Western world, which is probably about half the world, you know, they've given these women this sense of power, which is completely and totally false. Because all the power that a feminist has, that a woman has in the Western world, was all given to them by men. And guess what? It's going to be taken away from them by men. And when the lights go out and the lawlessness come, they're going to revert back to their gender roles. They're going to understand in that day. All right? Because Isaiah 1 is coming. All right? And a lot of you women are going to be disappointed, just like Furiosa was in that movie. All right? As she cried out when she was looking for the green place. All right? And then the women told her that the green place didn't exist no more. So the green place is about to disappear, man. All right? As a matter of fact, let's get that. That's in Luke 23. And I'm going to start at about verse 27, 28. Yeah, 28. And it says, But Yahushua turning unto them said, Daughters of Jerusalem, see, he's talking to the daughters. Weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. But behold, the days are coming in which they shall say, Blessed are the barren and the wombs that had never bare, and the paps which never gave suck. So you women who murdered your babies or never had children, you're going to be glad that you don't have them when these days come, when these times come. It says, Then shall they begin to say to the mountains, Fall on us, and the hills cover us. Where's FEMA? You know? For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry? So when the food and the water dries up, you think that it's dangerous out here for women and for people now. You just wait, man. It's coming. Hey, so with that, I'm going to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makar Kadash, Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yashua, Shalom.